Morning, Steve here in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Overnight prices start a little easier. We've seen outside market stocks, dollar, crude all lower because of the concern that the coronavirus is spreading outside of China now, and that's adding some pressure to the marketplace. Grains quickly rebounded. Right now we've got beans up 3, corn up 1, and wheat up 5 cents after the USDA came out with their 2021 supply and demand numbers. The surprise was in beans when they said that the bean carryout next year will be 320 million bushels. The average guess was 519. They said wheat 777. The average guess was 829. The negative number was corn. Carryout of a little over 2.6 billion. The average guess was a little over 2.4 billion. So as far as the numbers are concerned, USDA lowered wheat supply by 189 million bushels. They lowered total use 25, so that got us down that 160 million bushels in the carryout. For corn, they added 1.4 billion bushels to next year's supply. They did increase feed and residual 275, ethanol 25, and exports 375, but it wasn't enough to offset the increase in carryout of 745 million bushels. In the beans, I guess some people would say that their crop number might be just a little low. Their crop total supply is up 637 million bushels. The carry-in was down 484, so a net 150 increase in supply. They increased exports 225 million bushels, so that's a big increase from this year, I guess assuming that China will come in and buy that much. So that caused the 105 million bushel drop in the carryout. They also increased domestic soybean meal use but lowered export demand, and increased biodiesel demand next year for oil, soybean oil, but also dropped exports by a similar amount. Market yesterday was a little disappointed in that the chief economist for the USDA said that in 2020, China would only buy about $14 billion worth of ag goods. That's down from the $32 billion that some people thought they would take under the Phase 1 deal. The USDA quickly said that their forecast only was on known data and trends and not on any commitments from the Phase 1 agreement. So the chief economist also said that China may not be able to quickly ramp up export demand to meet some of the Phase 1 projections. And again, a lot of that has to do with the virus and how quickly they can get it in control, and a lot of it has to do logistically how quickly they can move what they need from the ports into the interior. South American weather is good. Brazil looking for record crops, while Argentina will be mostly dry over the weekend. A front will bring some light rains to about 40% of the areas early next week, and then there'll be a drier trend for the remainder of the week, which suggests that we might keep a watchful eye on the Argentina crop numbers. Managed funds yesterday, they were sellers of wheat, corn, beans, meal, and oil. They are now expected to be long 50 wheat, short almost 90 corn, short 85 beans, short 60 meal, and long about 37 oil. So again, 2020, we've got this 60-day window in which maybe we can move our grain prices up because of either China buying or some weather scare. And then the market should see big crops for 2020. The USDA is estimating that we're going to add back 13 million acres from last year, almost 9 in the beans. And so assuming normal weather, the carryouts, especially in beans, will probably be bigger than what the USDA said today, which would weigh on corn, bean, and wheat prices late in 2020. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM or ADM Investor Services. Have a safe and profitable trading day.